You really woke up and was like, why do poor people need Doritos? What's up? My name is Brianna. Welcome to my channel where I like to talk about stuff that makes me want to share my unsolicited opinions. So today I just wanted to talk about something that actress Keke Palmer recently tweeted that got her into a bit of hot water. So before I even go into this, I do not keep up with celebrities. I haven't seen or heard anything from Keke Palmer ever since she did Jump In with Corbin Bleu on the Disney Channel back in the 2000s. I have no idea what she's into these days. But this in particular hit a little close to home, so I thought I would give my opinion on it and maybe see what you guys think about the situation. So I'm just going to go over her tweets and try to understand her position a little bit. If you don't know who Keke Palmer is, she was born in 1993, I believe. She's currently 27 years old. Let me see what her sign is because why not? She's a Virgo. So I'm just going to go over a couple of her tweets because she tweeted out a couple of things. She responded to a couple of tweets. The first tweet that got the most attention was tweeted out at 8 a.m., specifically 8:04 a.m. on November 9th, 2020. So it says, imagine if your EBT card could only work on healthy items. Side eye, side eye, side eye, side eye. That same day at 8:36 a.m. she tweeted out, hey, at Kamala Harris, I know you just started, but me and my friends were talking about it and we think EBT cards should swipe free on all items considered healthy. XOXO. She tweeted out at 10:07 a.m. that same day, to clarify, my tweet was pertaining to issues with healthy foods being too expensive and thinking it should be free for those with EBT cards. This was not a suggestion for solving all low-income issues, solely a hopeful suggestion for those with EBT and want to run it up with meat and produce. Want to run it up with meat. Is it saying meat and produce? Those are the healthy things? I'm just reading some of these comments. She did a little addendum to that first tweet of hers where she said, imagine if your EBT cards could only work on healthy items. In the comments it says, I'm just here for the comments. Good morning, sun emoji. Added for context, I have been eating extremely healthy lately and have been sad about my debit card balance because of it. Healthy food is more expensive for a reason. It's fresh, good for you, and gives you energy. Bad foods are bad for a reason. They last long, they taste good because of tons of sodium, and they aren't expensive because they're honestly not food. Most likely they're food-like products. In any event, imagine you could only eat whatever healthy foods you wanted on your EBT card. Like all the healthy foods could swipe for free. Pretty much a reward for being healthy, but even more so, giving homes a break that want to eat healthy but can't afford it. So as you might imagine, Keke received quite a bit of backlash on that comment that she made. Let's check and see Keke's social blade and see what's going on there. She posted on the 9th, so let's go to the 9th. So on the 9th, on that Monday, she actually gained 341 followers. The following Tuesday, she lost 5,755 followers. The following Wednesday, on the 11th, she lost 909 followers. Thursday, she lost 447 followers. And today, Friday, as of right now, she's gained 239 followers. So in total math, for the month, she's up 4,484 followers. So I guess she's still doing good. So we're just gonna read some of these clapbacks that people had for her. Imagine if grocery stores with fresh produce. Also, I say grocery. I want to say grocery because that's like the proper way to say it, but I say grocery, so I'm just going to say grocery. I'm going to tell myself not to be self-conscious about it. Imagine if actual grocery stores with fresh produce decided to set up in low-income communities. Food deserts are a real thing. Imagine if healthy items were more affordable and accessible to everyone in America. So what a food desert is, I'm just going to look it up and read. I'm trying to do this thing where I actually look things up instead of just saying shit off the top of my head because I really hate doing that. I hate when other people do it, and I don't want to do it either. Even if it's something that I heard, I want to make sure I'm saying it exactly right. This is atlantastudies.org. Food deserts are defined as census tracts where a significant part of the population is a mile or more from the nearest supermarket, as these are assumed to provide the best and most affordable access to healthy foods. I mean, you know that the choices you have when using EBT are restricted, right? For example, you can't purchase cooked or warm foods. Being working poor or unemployed is already exhausting, and now the government is telling me I can't buy a hot meal for dinner. So I guess this is when I reveal that I was on EBT before, twice at 2 separate occasions, where I'm gonna be honest, I was on food stamps for a long time. Like, I'm gonna say I was on food stamps for a good 2 or 3 years after I graduated from college, and I was broke as a joke. And she's right, I was on food stamps in Georgia, and you could not purchase cooked or hot food, so you can't go and get a rotisserie chicken. It's kind of stupid because I couldn't get a hot sub at the Publix deli, but I could get a cold sub. Like, I don't know, if I wanted some hot beans from the hot bar or whatever, I couldn't get that, but I could go get the cold beans from like the deli section. So that's kind of stupid. I don't know, I didn't look it up, but I feel like the reason why the government does that is because they want to encourage people to make their own foods, but it's also really dumb. It's really dumb because the difference between me getting a hot sandwich at Publix and getting a cold sandwich at Publix is like one just has to go on the grill. But you can buy like all the hot Cheetos and all the Hot Pockets you want. I don't know why, but to me, Hot Pockets are just like the epitome of like unhealthy food. I don't know why. I haven't had one since I was like 10. Celebrities are useless. Republican ass take. Imagine if health food was available everywhere EBT cards are and as affordable as junk food. So a lot of people are gonna probably make references to food deserts here. This person looks like they retweet something she says saying, the gag is no one gives a f about eating healthy. Ha 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 ha. She just doubled down, and there you have it. She said what she said the first time. Imagine if a tiny portion, this is another person. Imagine if a tiny portion of the enormous excess wealth in our country flowed to people who needed food to live, and we didn't worry about what they were choosing to do with their modest allocation or whether they for some reason didn't deserve to eat. I feel like that's unfair. I guess maybe they're talking about the country in general, because I don't think Keke Palmer is saying that people don't deserve to eat. You really woke up and was like, why do poor people need Doritos? And then Carter Shalance says, you really need to chill because this is the most ignorant stance and statement due to privilege / assumption you're exercising in the statement alone. I don't really like people calling other people ignorant. I don't even like people saying that word. I use it, I guess. I don't know. I guess I don't like people using it unless somebody's being like super disrespectful and like just blatantly ignorant. I don't think Keke's being ignorant. I think she's only seeing it from one side, and I get where she's coming from, but I don't think she's seeing the whole picture. So that was the backlash that happened after she made those statements. I can understand where she's coming from, but I personally, and I'm not a professional in any way, I'm gonna have to start saying that every time. I see why people put that disclaimer on there. I am not a professional. I am a spectator on the lives of others, and I'm just giving my humble opinion. But I think she's looking at the situation just a tad too simplistically. I think it's a very complex issue, and it can't just be solved by giving food out for free. So I'm just gonna put aside some of the obvious questions that can be asked here, like how would that affect taxes? Where's the money gonna come from? Who's gonna pay the farmers? Who's gonna pay the trucks to take it from the farmers to the local markets? Like, how is this gonna work? Is it gonna be passed out like, you know, they do in communism? Because that's what they do in communism, and that's how a lot of people starve like that. I'm just gonna put that stuff aside because that's all political. I don't know anything about. Right now, I'm just trying to get free healthcare, okay? I'm not ready to deal with the food thing yet. Technically, the people are getting the food for free. I mean, the government is paying for them to eat, but I get she's saying like they should have an unlimited amount of free food, and the little money that they are allocated can go to the other stuff. But then like, who decides how much money that is? I feel like it's a lot of stuff going on. But putting that aside, I feel like there is a behavioral element that she's not taking into account. It's not just that poor people eat like shit, celebrities eat like shit too. Celebrities are also hitting up McDonald's and Taco Bell, and it's not just a poor person's mentality. Also, she puts a lot of emphasis on healthy foods being unlimited, which is what I'm gonna say. She's saying healthy food should be free. Well, technically it's already free because they're getting money for food, but let's just say unlimited, right? They can get an unlimited amount and it doesn't count towards their EBT allocation. But she puts a lot of emphasis on healthy, and I want to know what constitutes a food as healthy. Some people think that meat is unhealthy. Some people think that dairy is unhealthy, that eggs are unhealthy. Are we considering Triscuits healthy? I'm sure they've got a lot of benefits benefits, and I'm sure they've got a lot of fiber or whatever the hell is in them. I don't eat Triscuits, but they're still processed. Is tofu healthy? It's still a processed food. Some people think that soy isn't healthy. So something else that I wanted to address is, because I felt like the tone was kind of like, it was condescending in a way, because it's making the assumption that if you're poor, you're making unhealthy food choices. And there's definitely like a reason that people who are poor or below the poverty line are making those decisions in the first place. I found this article, this very smart article, so I'm not talking out of my ass. A manuscript is what it's called. So I found this manuscript. When incomes drop and family budgets shrink, food choices shift towards cheaper but more energy-dense foods. Low-cost, energy-rich starches, added sugars, and vegetable fats represent the cheapest way to fill hungry stomachs. Many nutritionists insist that all Americans have equal access to healthy, fresh foods if only they made the effort. In reality, energy-dense sweets and fats are tasty, cheap, readily available, and convenient. Where kitchen facilities, cooking skills, money, or time are limited or absent, they offer satisfying, if nutrient-poor, options. And I'm paraphrasing a little bit on this one. Low-cost objectives can be achieved by ignoring the current eating habits of the American population. In its 2006 review, the TFP Thrifty Food Plan, commonly cited as a model of healthy low-cost food, of a healthy low-cost diet, was dramatically different from the observed patterns of consumption. The goals could only be achieved by pushing the consumption of rarely eaten foods to unacceptable amounts, like legumes or whole grain pasta, sometimes exceeding the current amounts by a factor of 20 or more. So basically what that's saying is, so there are a lot of cheap healthy foods. You know, when I used to be vegan, I'm flexitarian now. A lot of vegans held this belief that, hey, you can eat cheap and healthy. You can be vegan and still eat very cheaply, but a lot of the foods would be things like large quantities of chickpeas, large quantities of brown rice, large quantities of whole grain pasta, lentils, things that people don't eat regularly. There are healthy, nutrient-dense foods, but they're not staples in our diet. In the same article, it presents yet another problem, which I think is the most important problem, which is time poverty. Because those foods that I mentioned earlier, chickpeas, lentils, maybe not whole wheat pasta, I think whole wheat pasta is the devil. Those things can be made delicious. They can be delicious and they can be healthy, but they take time to prepare. So the same article says, time poverty presents an additional problem. Decades ago, many American households included at least one person with sufficient time to shop for and prepare meals from scratch. In other words, low-cost nutritious diets can be created in principle by the TFP framework. However, such diets may be low in palatability and variety, may require dramatic shifts in eating habits, and may be time intensive to prepare. Working mothers, though I'm not sure why it only specifies mothers, can follow TFP guidelines to prepare low-cost nutritious foods, or can have a paying job outside the home, but may find it difficult to do both. But that's not really what Keke's saying, right? That's just a little bit of what that paper was stating. My personal thoughts, once again, I am not an expert. I'm just a person with access to the internet, with a little bit of schooling in fine arts. You can take or leave what I say, but if you do have some rebuttals, hey, let me know. I personally think it's better to ensure that people are getting educated so that they can get paid better wages, they can be more highly skilled, get these better jobs. Not only that, but to ensure that our country, because we have such an enormous wage gap between the rich and the poor, to make sure that people are getting paid a fair wage so that they can afford these healthy foods in the first place. We want to avoid the problem in the first place, right? So overall, while I do think Keke was well-intentioned, I think her comments were a little short-sighted and definitely tone deaf. And ultimately, I think what she said sounds a little condescending. I mean, we're talking about adults here. They're not children. No one should be policing what they eat. They should be able to buy Hot Pockets and donuts just like everyone else if that's what they want to buy. I feel like the way that her tweets are worded kind of makes it seem like, I don't know if this is what she believes or not, but kind of makes it seem like she thinks that people are on EBT for their poor decisions in the first place. That's not true for everyone. It certainly wasn't true for me, but I don't want to get personal like that. I don't want to be like,
oh, you're attacking me when I was on EBT. I wasn't da 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 da.
I don't even like when people go like that, because my story is my story and somebody else's story is their story. So that's all I have to say on this topic. What do you think about Keke Palmer's tweets? What do you think about her commentary on EBT cards? Do you agree with her that all healthy food should be free? If so, hey, lay out a detailed plan in my comment section about what exactly that would look like. I want to know. Or do you think that maybe she needs to put her phone down? Please remember to give this video a like if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel for more of my unsolicited opinions and unfortunate personal experiences. I like to share. I like to have discourse. Also follow me on IG, and I will see you next time. Peace.